Hello out there in YouTube land. Um, Now, if my grandkids don't think I am cool, if the class of 21, 14, 15 don't think I'm cool after they see these earrings, then I don't know what to say about you because these earrings are cool. I can't remember where I got them. I want to say, well, no, I'm not going to say. That's why I started over because I'm not going to advertise for anybody. You're going to give money, a whole lot of money to charity before I endorse anywhere. But I bought them. They're a couple years old. They look heavy. They're really not. This is actually very, very, very fragile. It's very, they're not heavy at all. And they're actually the earrings that I'm wearing when when my grandson came home from the hospital. I was I'm wearing these earrings. The first pictures, the grandkid is home from the hospital. He came home, and I'm actually wearing these earrings when I'm holding him because I wanted to look really, really cool. Um, and I'm holding him, and he's actually looking at the earrings. He wasn't close enough to grab. I mean, he was. Come on, a couple, maybe a week old, because she stayed in the hospital. They stayed in the hospital like a week, as I recall, a couple of weeks or something like that. With one thing, poor thing had a cesarean. Poor little thing. My daughter-in-law's this teen little thing. Um, and so I'm wearing these earrings in the picture. And I also like wearing them because you get a lot of attention. Like when I volunteer at the theater, sometimes I wear them because people always, wow, man, those earrings are cool, and then they always want to touch them to see if they're heavy. And I'm all, you can touch them, and it causes a lot of attention. That's fun. And I think that's kind of healthy, especially for me because, believe it or not, I actually have a bit of a shy side sometimes. I really do. I mean, I can work up an actual blush once in a while, to be completely honest. But yeah, these are one of my favorite, favorite pieces of jewelry. Maybe that's why people think I'm a drag queen. Anyway, these are going to be the title of these tapes is going to be um, ABW, anything but writing. That's what I call anything but writing. Like I said, I finished Autumn. I actually last night took the prologue and stuck it in the front of the book. I had the prologue as a separate document as I worked on it. I went back, I looked at it. I can't do anymore with that. I can't do anymore with that. So I'm going to put it, and so then I cut it, pasted it on the beginning of the book where a prologue belongs, and that's it. There isn't thing, and I made sure I did all my backup. I still have to back up the disk, but I backed up both USB, UBS, whatever you call these things. You know what they call these things. And I got all that done. So now I'm in that mode. Well, usually what I do is I will play solitary. That's about the only thing. I'll play spider, solitaire. I'll do something to exercise my brain. Look at stuff on YouTube and do crazy stuff like that just to get sometimes I'll read. And also I also have a always have a short story or something going on the side that I can put my attention to. I think I talked about that before, that I had to actually stop when I was working on the book and write this short story because it just would not go away. It would not go away. I tried all I could to concentrate on the book, but it would not go away. So what I ended up doing was stopping and writing the short story. And like I said, I finished that short story. I do have another one, the one I told you guys about, Raven Knight, um, that I'm thinking about working on. And sometimes I'll read something I've written before because I like to read my own stuff. So it's according to what's going on with that. I'm not really sure. I don't have writer's block or anything, but I'm just having a hard time making it transition. When I first actually finished Autumn in February, I started on the other book, and then what happened was I wrote a little teeny bit on it, and I thought I actually have written more than I thought. I thought I had just written the prologue, but I actually had written quite a bit more. But I have a feeling, I think I've said it before, I have a feeling that a lot of that's got to go. I think I'm going to have to start over. So, what I just been doing is kind of messing around. I playing on the computer, looking at my DVDs, that kind of thing. Haven't been really listening to that much music, a little bit. Um, I'm feeling much better as far as um, health wise is concerned. I've been really feeling really good. I've um, remembering my dreams. I'm sleeping much better. It's just so much stress. I talked to my VA representative, I think it was Friday, and they can actually pay for me to get my driver's license before I get the job. She said, and I know she said this the last time, that I had to have the job first. So it was like a catch 22. Okay, I could have had this job, but I don't drive. So that's why I couldn't get the job. So I have to go down, not Monday, because I believe it's closed on a Monday. And I think I've made that mistake before, busing down there on Monday morning. They were closed. So I'm gonna have to do that Tuesday. Monday, I'm gonna have to go down definitely to Rally Point Six, and then definitely down to see my career coach, and um, do different things like that. I think Wednesday I'll decorate. I always say I'm not gonna decorate. I'm not putting that stuff up. But then again, I turn around and I decorate. Even because I don't it's only me and my kitty. Well, I'm gonna have the kids over for we have Christmas. I think I said before, I have a godson, and he and his parents used to go to Mexico. It was a big family vacation thing in Mexico. Now his parents are separated, and he doesn't. They don't get to do that anymore. His brother is married, so he has, spends Christmas with his family. So basically, the day I have my grandson. Whoa. Well, one day I will. One day I will have my grandkids with me for Christmas. But usually on the day I have my godson over. It's usually around the 20th or whenever, however Hanukkah falls that year, and I will. That's the day I consider my Christmas. My Christmas, and then I light the menorah. I keep the um, uh, Hanukkah days, and it ends this time like on Christmas Eve, which is cool. And then usually Christmas Day, and let's see, I have a whole bunch of I have they're showing It's a Wonderful Life here downstairs in our theater. We have a theater downstairs. Um, and they're having a ugly sweater parties. I've been invited to a couple of other parties. I really don't know. This Christmas I'm gonna decorate and everything, and kind of go along with the holiday thing, but I'm not gonna spend. I'm keeping the spending down to a dull roar this year. Well, for necessities for one thing, because I'm pretty darn sure once I take care of some legal stuff I have to take care of, I will. That's the only thing holding my apartment being ready, is that they're doing a background check, blah blah blah, and so when I get through with all that, actually, I've kind of been putting it off a little bit because I did not want to move in December because the other place would just be too small to have Christmas dinner. I also have a lot of baking and stuff to do for some of my peeps. And you know that I just have a lot of little, and I'll probably volunteer at the Playhouse. I'm just waiting for them to call me. Last year I looked at my calendar and I did it on the 21st, which is usually the last day of the holiday show. And usually that time of year, they start calling their good old standbys like me, that they know can come because people are, skedaddling for the holiday. That's why my godson we have our Christmas early because he goes skiing or away on his yacht or something, for uh, actual Christmas, holiday. And I'm trying to think what else would be interesting. Well, I try to keep, well, actual Christmas Day. That's a funny story. Christmas Day, when I was at home, after we were the proper age, that is. Um, my sister my sister and I, that Christmas Day was our day to get blasted, because if it was the one day of the year we knew we didn't have to watch our kids, they had brand new stuff to play with, we didn't have to keep an eye on them, and we would just start at 4 a.m. and just keep going, and just be, man, out of it by like 10 o'clock that night. We were out cold and everybody would pass out. And when I was a little girl, you know we had we had a lot we had a lot of good Christmases. We really did. We had a lot of good Christmases. We had a couple that were kind of scarce, you know and of course, look back on it, my parents had a lot of kids, and and Christmas we moved into our house. Actually, we moved in Thanksgiving Day, and that weekend. And so that Christmas was, my parents had just closed on a house, so they really didn't have like a lot of money. I think we just got a couple of things. And I remember a couple of Christmases we spent in Virginia. We only got like two or three things, stuff like that for a piece, but still, some kids don't get anything. Some kids get one, present for Christmas, and it's something that somebody else had to give them. I've already bought a toy. Every Christmas I try to do some kind of charity thing. Um, I bought a toy for a girl. You know how they always ask you want to buy a toy, so I always make sure that I buy something for a girl. Um, and that's about it. This is going to be really, really busy the time of the year. Well, the only time that I actually didn't really celebrate Christmas was the Christmas that I was um when I was stationed on Okinawa that Christmas. I didn't put up a tree, because I was living in the barracks. I didn't bother. I didn't put up a tree. There was no Christmas decorations. They tried to make it nice, but it wasn't. It was awful. I didn't go home, and nobody really, it was just miserable. It really was a bad time in my life. And I really had a really bad bout of depression afterwards because as sucky as the holidays are, you really can't ignore them. I mean, you really can't just pretend like it's not happening. I learned my lesson with that. So, um, Christmas Day, I'll probably just have a couple drinks. I usually get a bottle of champagne and sip on it all day, and just sit around listening to music, listening to Christmas carols. Eat whatever I want, make whatever I want to eat for that day. And that's usually what I do on Christmas Day. Usually I have a few drop-ins and drop-bys, that kind of thing. So that's what my holiday, what do you call it? I don't know. That's what my holiday, I can't think of the word. I hate that. See, when you get old, you schedule. That's the word. When you get older, that's one of the things that happens. You want to use a certain word and you can't. That's why you can't think of the word, but that's a normal thing. That's a normal thing. And that's nothing to worry about because Alzheimer's does run in my family. That's why I do brain exercises. That's another reason why I write. Um, After the holiday, speaking of writing, after the holiday, I have really got to get on the ball and get an agent. My son said that he would help me do that because, of course, he's, used to dealing with agents and stuff because he's a athlete. So, um, I'm going to definitely start like aggressively looking for an agent because as soon as I get an agent and sell my book, then all this job hunting and all this stupid stuff can stop. It really does. Money loves me. That's an affirmation I learned a long time ago and I had forgotten it. It's wrong to love money, but there's nothing wrong with money loving you. So as soon as I can get that done, um, and get published, then none of us will have to worry about anything ever, ever again. Um, I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that I looked at. Oh, and I was up really late last night. Um, looking at, I am such a YouTube junkie. I really am. I've got to stay off of YouTube. And it's so funny because I kept telling everybody that when I actually, got the book done, I was going to go on YouTube and read a page every day. But like I said before, I changed my mind about that. I decided just to talk about it. Um, Instead, and that's what I've done. So I'm telling everybody go look. I was watching last night a lot of, no, I know what I'll do. I'll talk about oh, and I found that's what I can talk about for the next few minutes. I don't want to start on the new book, and I don't want to start on the uh makeup and stuff, because I'm not going to do any makeup tutorials, anything like that. I'm definitely not going to do any hair tutorials because duh. But I'll talk about that one in the next video. I'll talk about the stuff I was watching on YouTube last night. But actually found, I had thought I had lost my card case. When I graduated from getting my master's, my friend gave me a calling card case, this with a kitty cat on it. Just is really pretty, and it's the kitty cat. It has emeralds embedded in it, and she gave me that for my graduation present, and I gave her a pocketbook. But of course, a woman cannot buy another woman. No one could buy another woman's pocketbook, because she's talking about how, ratty her. Because you know how women are. When we're in school, we carry the same bag every day. And so she wanted a new purse, so I actually gave her a gift card, which I'm not a gift card person. But things like wedding gifts, and because nowadays young couples have everything. Used to be back in the day, a woman kind of, squirreled away things. She had her hope chest, and trousseau kind of coming along. But you didn't have anything. Nowadays, when young couples get married, they most of the time they have both already lived somewhere. They don't live at home anymore, so they already have irons and ironing boards and stuff like that. And one of my favorite gifts, wedding gifts, is shower gifts, is picture frames, because you can always use picture frames, and linen, like towels and linen and stuff like that. Speaking of which, my laundry, I'm doing my laundry. I hope you can't hear the stupid washing machine, but all of a sudden I ran out of towels. I'm like, what the devil's going on? So yeah, and I thought I had lost it because I've been carrying it around with me because filling out applications and sending out references, and doing things like that. I've been carrying my card case around with me, and I thought for sure I lost it. I couldn't find it, but it was in one of my bags. So that made me really, really happy that I found that, because I was gonna be really, really upset about that. And like I said, and it's kind of sad thing about my friend. She's that's the one I said I was gonna have to find out how to say the German word that I named my new book. But she was really interesting. She's a really fascinating person. She came from Germany. She married a soldier, basic the same story. She came over here, um, got into a bit of trouble, had been homeless for like 10 years, something like that. Actually, pretty much taught herself English enough to get a GED, go through, go to community college, then go all the way, through, regular college, and then go into undergrad, then go into graduate school and everything. And then all of a sudden, then she just, we were really close when I lived in Lacey. And then I moved up here. She spent my very first Thanksgiving in this apartment. She spent it with me. Um, and the first Christmas Eve here, because they do their stuff on Christmas Eve. But then she started to get back into some bad habits that she'd been into, and I had to let her go. And she was, lying to her husband, telling him she was here and actually going meeting someone somewhere else. It's really funny. I don't agree with that stuff. She texted me one day and said something like, "I'm at your house," and I'm thinking she's here at my house. And so I'm at the store and I was in the mall, like I was rushing home, and she meant to tell, I don't play those games. So I'm closing down on the time. I usually do. So I will be back in a little while.